technically speaking, we're not in a Great Depression, so this is fantastic news. We're not in a Great Depression. A recession, a journalist definition of recession is 2 consecutive quarters where the GDP, the real GDP, is going down. Real GDP, meaning that it was adjusted for inflation. And GDP, of course, being the gross domestic product. Germany is better at capitalism and socialism. Even the capitalists aren't good at it. It's Milton Friedman. You're talking about capitalism? Oh, okay, didn't you know about Milton Friedman? No? Okay, you don't really know jack shit about yourself. No, you're just a greedy fucking prick. Oh, okay, I see. I see. And I guess in some respects you're being an okay capitalist, but you really don't know the whole being selfish because you're self-interest, but they're selfish too. Everybody's doing, you know, in their own reasonable self-interest, making good decisions based on, all right. So let's see here. What's all going on? A lot of stuff. So we're not in a Great Depression. That's good news. There was 2 downturns, you know, last year, so it was a recession. So I would assume 3 consecutive quarters. That means the fucking majority of the year was going down. So we got away with, you know, not getting technically a Great Depression, but I just can see how people are, you know, in the whatever Labor Department crunching these damn numbers saying, oh shit, make sure these numbers are going up and up and up. But we just got a jobs report, and so people aren't getting any jobs, so I don't see how the GDP would be going up, right? COVID, people inside not spending as much money. How can our economy survive it? I have no idea. But, okay, all right. We're not in a Great Depression. That's good news. Let's see here. What all do we got here? Let's see. I wish I would have chosen a different word. You got the, what's his name? Mr., you know, old Buckwheat, the guy who likes to call people buckwheats. And apparently he's Hispanic. He's Hispanic, and, you know, as a country boy, well, that's what we all call each other. And that's not a country boy term. And, okay, buckwheat. It's dismissive. But I wouldn't mind being the neighborhood buckwheat. And also he points out that he was calling another Hispanic person, you know, buckwheat. He's a Hispanic. His friend is Hispanic. None of this is meant to be racial, just dismissive. But maybe that's why it's racial, because he's going to use a term for a black youngster. He said it's a tyke. He meant buckwheat as a tyke, a kid, a youngster. So why don't you just say there, all right, tyke, all right, youngster. All right, Mr., you know, Tom Sullivan, young Tom. All right, young Tom, just calm down, youngster. Tom Sullivan, the tyke, Tom Sullivan, the kid, Tom Sullivan, the youngster. So, yeah, he probably should have chosen a different term. That's an understatement to say. The least civics education is about to get more detailed in Colorado. So what are we doing with civics? Well, the State Board of Education is going to review current civics education standards, if necessary, change them. Set the full history, culture, social contributions of minorities is taught. Civics education also going to cover specific workings of the U.S. and state government, from the Constitution to how the branches of government interact, from how amendments are made to the effects Supreme Court decisions have on modern life. And so essentially they want to see a more informed electorate. Most Americans cannot pass the immigration test to be citizens of their own country. There's a culture of ignorance. What, you're stupid about politics and democratic republican parliamentary procedure? You're fucking ignorant about how to live in a democracy? How about making our public school systems democratic institutions where we empower those who are least empowered, the ones that we pretend that we are teaching, instead of oppressing and paying a bunch of fucking teachers that don't give a shit about the goddamn, yeah, pay some asshole money to give him power to tell our kids what to fucking do for no pay, no prestige, for nothing. Shut the fuck up. How about you get the fuck out of the classroom, hire my kids as a teacher, or let my kids, you know, learn on their own goddamn, they're going to write their own Wikipedia, they're going to do their own goddamn HTML, they're going to Well, they need to be sit down, shut up, need some fucking asshole who's gonna, hey, how'd you get this job? I'm not gonna teach you that. I'm gonna teach you a bunch of horse shit that you don't really need to know. Meanwhile, I keep the fucking power. I get all the fucking money, and I'm gonna teach you a bunch of shit you don't need to know. Who the fuck could sit through that bullshit, totalitarian bullshit? Teachers don't even get educated by other teachers because they know it's bullshit. They know it's bullshit. Lectures you only retain your 5%. So, I like the efforts that we're getting, more educated populace, but ultimately it doesn't change the culture. The public education, it starts out, you get all those school board members that have to be elected, but once they get elected, then it's just totalitarian. Pick the superintendent, then the principals, then the teachers, and then your kids are on the bottom of the totem pole. That's the whole point of public education. You got $10,000. The state is providing $10,000 for your kid, and then when you send your kid to school, they treat you like you don't fucking matter. They treat you and your kid like you don't fucking matter. Neither one of you two fucking pricks matter. Yeah, you're just supposed to go along with their, dog and pony parade show. Shut up, sit down, fuck you. That's not how democracy works, motherfucker. Here's what I want to learn. I want to learn more about horses and husbandry and animal science. That's what I want to learn. Why the fuck are you going to stop us? And he wants to learn, and then we're going to talk about it, and we're going to learn together. You're going to stop learning and then pretend that you're a good fucking person, you oppressive motherfucker. Just homeschool your children on the Enlightenment, and then, give them $10,000 to build their own house. Don't waste any fucking money sending it to these public education bullshit institutes. They're not empowering anybody. They're not telling you to stand up. That's what these gun control fuckers want. To tell you to shut up and sit down, right? To not be empowered, to not just sit there and wait for the cops to do something. What if the cops are corrupt or lazy and they don't do their damn job and let the criminals run amok? What the fuck do you do then? Well, we can wait, 50 years. So here's a guy in 1988. He killed, 24-year-old Mary Lynn Valpondo. Eventually, he's going to get his just desserts. So eventually, the system, every once in a while, 50 fucking years later, all right, fantastic, right? So what, second-degree murder, aggravated robbery, second-degree murder? He robbed her, took her jewelry, sexually assaulted her. James Papoul. Oh, you're going to be sentenced to 60 years in prison. Well, you got the last, 88, 12 plus 21, 33 years to, run around and be fucking free, motherfucker. And now he's going to go to prison and get 3 square meals, 3 hots and a cot, huh? Colorado Springs, glad that, he's going to be sentenced to 60 years in prison. Eventually, justice. Justice delayed is justice denied. So justice delayed 30 years has been justice denied 30 years. But justice did happen. Like when James Deaton went back to Bloody Breathitt and got the Deaton family some justice. They killed Ned Callahan because Ned Callahan killed James G. Deaton. Killed him in cold blood. Accused him of stealing shit he didn't steal. And he was the county magistrate. And then he's going to get elected a couple years later. Oh, my fucking God. Talk about some horse shit. That murderer just got elected? Sheriff? Some shenanigans is going on around here. So now, last but not least, we got an officer who shot Boulder gunman in the leg is justified. Colorado, Jesus fucking Christ. So Colorado went ahead and passed 2 more gun laws. So we got 2 more gun laws for all you lawful, law-abiding citizens. So those people who are like, hey, what's the law, Colorado? I'm going to be a law-abiding citizen because, I'm not a piece of shit, right? But also, I want to know the rules to the game. What are the rules for the state of Colorado? I'd like to think that people got character and their morality and their ethics. I'd like to think that just their own conscience can govern them to make good, proper decisions. But, no. We got 2 more laws. So the laws. From now on, you have to lock up your gun away from your kids. So if you got kids in your household, you got to lock your gun away. Put it in a gun, something. Just put it out of the way. You don't want your kids getting a hold of your gun and going out and shooting and killing people. If you don't responsibly store your gun, and I believe it's with a lock and key, that's a Class 2 misdemeanor. So that's CRS 18-12-113 and CRS 18-12-114. The other one is, if you get a gun that's stolen, you have to report it within 5 days or you're going to have a $25 or a $500 fine. So that's, re-victimizing a person, right? Also, giving the intruder a half a second. So go ahead and lock your gun, with all, I would think, just put it high enough to where your kids couldn't reach it. Because the argument against that is, if, you take away that second, so your kid doesn't grab a hold of it, just, what kind of kid would just do that anyways? But if an intruder comes in, then that precious second might be all the second that the intruder needs. And then the $25 to $500, so you just got robbed. They took your fucking gun, and then if you don't report that they stole your fucking gun, now you get re-victimized. They robbed you, and now the government's going to fuck with you. Oh, you got robbed, huh? Oh, you got robbed, did you? Did you get your gun stolen? Did you report it? Get the fucking cop car now, motherfucker. So there you go. For all you criminal motherfuckers who can't read, don't give a shit about the laws that the legislature passes, there's 2 more laws for you, criminal motherfuckers, right? So basically, the law abiders got punished. If you abide by the law, and what's going on with the Boulder shooter? So he had 10 illegal large-capacity magazines. 10 illegal, huh? They went ahead and put 50 charges, more than 50 charges. Well, shit, even if he beat, 49 of them charges, he's probably going to lose one of them charges, right? That's probably the point, right? We'll really show this Boulder shooter what's up by giving him 50. Why not give him 300 charges? Fuck it, Why just 50 charges? Why not 300 fucking charges? So the DA just ruled that shooting this Boulder shooter motherfucker that killed 10 people in the leg was justified. Shut the fuck up. He should have got shot in the fucking head. How the fuck did he walk out of that supermarket alive? How the hell did he walk out of that supermarket alive? And then now, because the liberals are in control, they'll do your goddamn gun control, but they won't put him up for the death penalty. He killed 10 innocent people. Justice is eye for an eye. He deserves to die, or life imprisonment, something to the equivalent of that. But here we are, several months later, they went ahead and restricted your and my, rights to our Second Amendment rights. So they went ahead and restricted the Second Amendment rights for all the people. Are we going to get any justice from the court system with this Boulder shooting motherfucker? 50 fucking charges? Are you sure you put on enough? Are you sure he's going to get convicted of 1 or 2? Or is it going to be so goddamn much people are like, oh shit. Just 2 20-year consecutive sentences. Now get the fuck out of here. That's just malicious prosecution. That's just too much. Are you trying to, create sympathy? You trying to get sympathy for this fucking guy? So he had 10 illegal large-capacity magazines. Apparently, the Boulder shooter didn't listen to the laws. He didn't care about the laws. When he went to go shoot a bunch of innocent people, he had all the large-capacity magazines in the world. He was breaking over 50 fucking laws, over 50 goddamn laws. So let's pass another 3,000 laws. If we pass 3,000 more laws, still wouldn't stop the Boulder shooting from happening. There's a sick culture underneath all this. And we're not, addressing it, the economics, the culture. People got daddy issues. Fucking love Trump. Last but not least, if you're a right-wing MAGA supporter, you've got to say Breonna Taylor's name. Say her name. I bet you can't do it, you piece of shit. Say her name. Breonna Taylor. Say Elijah McClain's name. Say Elijah McClain. That's Colorado. You killed Elijah McClain. What about Isaiah Brown? Say Isaiah Brown's name. George Floyd, Eric Garner. Say their name. Philando Castile, Alton Sterling, say their goddamn name. You supported Donald motherfucking Trump, you right-wing fucking piece of shit. You write me 5 pages about how you're not a goddamn racist piece of shit. These motherfuckers are going to stick around, and we're going to get a worse fucking Donald. No, we got to nip this shit in the bud. You right-wing fucking fascist, racist motherfucker. Say Breonna Taylor's name. Say Isaiah Brown's name. Say his name. That was a real fucking person who lived on this planet. You can't say his name because you can't empathize with others. You sick, sadistic fuck. So there you go. 2 more gun laws have been passed. So if you got kids, make sure you lock up your guns. And if you get a gun stolen, make sure you keep on living by the law. Criminals don't give a fuck about the laws and all the shit. Oh, what, Denver passed some laws? What, Washington, D.C.? Those legislatures passed some laws? Yeah, right. These fucking criminals don't give a goddamn fuck about your laws. They don't give a shit about your goddamn laws. It'd be nice to actually have some good Bass Reeves around here, some good Willis Russells. Andy Griffith, it's never been Mayberry around here. But Andy Griffith walk around without a gun, solving people's problems because he gives a shit about the community. Not just picking sides and arresting, not just protecting your friends and family and then arresting who the fuck ever you want to hurt. But actually you actually give a shit about the people of Costilla County. You actually give a shit about the people. I have a dream, America. I have lots of dreams, America. Come the fuck on. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and smoke a little bit of this here. It's one good thing about Colorado. You can get $60 lemon drop out of Antonito. $60 lemon drop. There's actually 2 marijuana stores side by side. Go to the first one on the right-hand side. That's a lot better deal. The motherfuckers that right on the opposite side, they are such pricks. I hear that the lady or whatever, she's like, lives in California or some shit. So she's an absentee landlord making some rich fuck from out of state, rich as shit. Meanwhile, you got a local guy who, has a good product, provides it for a good price, and he's at the forefront of the marijuana movement, so I wouldn't mind making that motherfucker a millionaire. Anyways. Try to be nice to each other out there, America.